What's up, fam? How you guys doing? Welcome back to another video. For those who don't know me, I go by Samdicating. I do travel vlogs and history videos at times. Just got me a bike. If you saw the last video, so I'm gonna hit some videos on that. And you know, you guys already know that I like to travel. I like to go around, move around, do what I gotta do when I gotta do it, how I gotta do it. But in the present moment in time, I am not traveling like I would like to, but in a couple years or so, I'm going to be back on that venture. So anyway, it's been interesting lately, and I wanted to talk about this particular topic. I might do a lot more sit down videos like this. Got me a okay camera now. I got me I always had a decent camera, but I left that at my house in Colombia, which when I do go back, I'm going to bring that here with me so I can have better quality when I'm doing these sit down videos, which you're probably going to have a lot more of. But I got me a little microphone, stuff like that. You know what's the crazy part? This microphone is not even plugged in. How does the quality sound? Anyway, go ahead and subscribe to my podcast. I do have a podcast. That's what I use this microphone for, as a podcast. Slight Disagreements podcast. It's on Spotify. The link will be in the description below. So let's go ahead and get this video started. Let's go.
You're gonna see a little, you're gonna learn a little, and at the end of the day, I hope this helps a little. You learn some culture, you get to see some sights. I'll be your brochure before you book your flights. Samdicating.
So we're talking about the state of travel in 2026 in this video. Go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And excuse me, the pollen's here this year again, and I have allergies. I'm sorry about that, as I was. So we're talking about the state of travel in 2026. And this is just going to be informational for those who are traveling, who are considering traveling. Go ahead and leave your comments in the description below so I can hear from you how things are going, okay? I'm sorry my allergies. So, I'm going to be speaking a bit more about international. I'm pretty much focused in general as a whole in the travel industry. But, so yeah, travel in 2026 is a fascinating place at the moment, okay? Oh, I'm sorry. On one hand, global tourism is booming again, right? It's like fireworks, it's explosions, okay? But on the other hand, it's like new challenges. For example, we have rising costs, geopolitics, and changing traveler habits are reshaping how and where people travel. All right. So let's break this down. What travel actually looks like right now at the moment. So global travel is bigger than ever. Okay. So like I said, I'm going to talk more about global travel, international travel, and maybe in the next video, I'll break that down to a more national stance. Okay. But as a whole, travel, whether it's nationally or internationally, right? It's bigger than ever. So first, let's look at the big picture. International travel has fully rebounded, okay, after the pandemic years. In fact, global tourism reached around 1.5 billion international travelers in 2025, continuing steady growth trend that existed before COVID, right? So thing is, before COVID, it started to go up, and then during COVID, it kind of backed off because you guys already know the whole situation. And then after COVID, it started to skyrocket again, okay? So I have right here, So I have right here, okay, that, never mind. But as you can see, I have a chart. It's playing on the screen right now. You can pause the video and see what's going on. So in 2016, it was decent. It went up in like 2018, 2019, and then during COVID time, it backed off 2019, 2020, 2021. And then it started to rise steadily again from 2022, 2023, all the way up to 2025. Now we're in 2026 as a recording of this video, okay, in March to be exact. So, travel and tourism now contribute roughly to $11.7 trillion to the global economy, which is about 10% of global GDP. That's a lot of money for traveling, okay? So those of you who think about getting a job in the travel industry, might be the time. Flight attendant, pilot, maybe travel consulting, right? A lot of YouTubers, they do that nowadays, travel consulting of the places that they currently live in, okay? So despite inflation, political tensions, and economic uncertainty, people are still prioritizing travel. But the way people travel is changing, okay? So understand that the way people are traveling is changing. So let's look back again on that figure. So in the Asian Pacific is on track to surpass Europe as largest travel markets. So a lot of people are going to Asia, okay? Man, I need to take my next trip over there. Thailand, Vietnam, you know what I mean? Cambodia, you know, I need to go to Asia, Korea, Japan. Where we at, bro? Help me out. For those of you who are watching this video right now, please comment below what spots in Asia do you recommend? Because I would like to go there. So, yeah, the World Travel and Tourism Council projects the industry will contribute a record $11.7 trillion to the global economy in 2025. We're in 2026 now, okay? So that's equivalent to about 10.3% of the world's GDP. International visitor spending is forecast to hit $2.7 trillion in spending, surpassing the previous all-time high of $1.9 trillion set in 2019. Wild, okay? So, I might need to get into the travel industry. So, let's look at the one big trip era. If you ever heard of that one big trip, leave it down below. Apparently this started years ago. I have a Reddit post I'm going to show you guys in just a second. But a major trend in 2026 is what some analysts call the one big trip mindset, okay? So instead of taking multiple small vacations here and there, many travelers are saving up for one meaningful experience each year. Something memorable like visiting another continent, exploring a new culture, which I talk about all the time, or checking off a bucket list destination, okay? So travel is becoming way more intentional because people want experiences, not just destinations. So if you look at the Reddit posts that I should have overlaid in the video. Here we go, right? Is it this one? I'm sorry. Here we go. So if you look at the Reddit post, this was 11 years ago, by the way. 11A. I say 11A, right? This person commented, I like it. One big one. On a big trip, you have more room to keep an open itinerary. You have the option of staying in places you like or with people you like for longer. You can say yes to a 7-day detour to what you were planning. You wouldn't feel guilty taking a relaxing day where you don't see anything, right? You have more time to yourself in the traveling mindset, right? So always take a big trip when you can, because someday you might not be able to. So that's what's going on A lot now, you see a lot more people like, you know what, man, I don't want to do just a 2-week vacation. I want to do a month-long vacation, a 2-month-long vacation, right? And depending on the type of job that you have, you might could take off 6 months or so. So, of course, you got to save up for that, depending on where you want to go and what it is you would like to do. You know what I mean? Because travel does not have to be expensive. It all depends on your lifestyle and what you like to do. So, just to state basically with that, travel is becoming more intentional. People want experiences, not just destinations. Okay? So let's think about this a little bit. People want cultural immersion. People want food experiences. People want adventure travel. And people want to interact with local communities. Travelers want stories to bring home, not just photos. And I need to start taking more pictures, recording more videos on the places I go. Because for those of you who watch me, I don't really record that much about when I go to places. I'm gonna start doing that more. So another thing to touch on, travel is getting more expensive. Why, you may ask, is it getting expensive? Why is there such thing as inflation in situations? I'm trolling, I'm sorry. I'm not. So anyway, now for the part that travelers, what am I talking about right now? Now for the part travelers are definitely feeling is the cost, okay? In 2026, airline prices are under pressure because of rising jet fuel costs and geopolitical tensions. In some cases, airfares have nearly doubled on certain routes due to fuel prices spiking and disruptions in oil supply. So I got something here, rising cost of fuel, right? So we could look right here. We have, as of March 2026, jet fuel prices have spiked as high as 90% since January 2026, thanks in large part to escalating tensions involving US and Israel attacks against Iran. The Argus US Jet Fuel Index pegged the average price at around $3.93 per gallon in early March, up from $2.07 in early January. So there's more here. You can pause the screen and read the rest, but that's just something interesting, and that's a cost or a reason of why fuel prices are going up. Fuel is one of the largest costs for airlines, often 25 to 35% of their expenses. So when oil prices spike, ticket prices usually follow, right? So normally when things go up, everything else have to go up to compensate for their costs, for their expenses, right? It's kind of like when if taxes or inflation happens, then people have to raise rent because they have to cover their bottom line, right? The food has to go up because they have to cover their bottom line, all right? A lot of people don't see that. They're more so like, why is this going up? But you have to cover your bottom line. Now, some people do take advantage of it. They're not covering no bottom line, right? I'm going to charge more for consulting because everything went up. What bottom line are you covering? What are you covering? Anyway, I digress. So, but in this cases, when fuel costs go up, ticket price will go up because as you can see, it's about 25 to 35% of their expenses. So some airlines have increased ticket prices, added fuel surcharges, and reduced or canceled certain routes. So in the reality in 2026 is that the travel demand is high, but affordability is becoming a bigger issue. So now that you can't really fly directly to certain places, you might have to spend more money to do connecting flights in between certain places. So now your travel time is increasing, as well as the prices to get to these locations. So, yeah. Technology is also transforming how we plan our trips, right? Another major change is AI in travel planning. So around 42% of travelers now use AI tools for planning trips, searching flights, or building itineraries. People are using AI for things like finding cheaper flights, translating languages, planning multi-city trips, and discovering unique experiences. You can literally plan an entire trip in minutes now. And I think that's good, right? Because, it takes the weeks of planning into minutes, I guess, right? So this is especially common for Gen Z and millennials who are leading the shift toward tech-driven travel. If you guys know certain sites that I can use to plan my trips a lot easier, please comment that down below, and for other people that are watching this video to kind of be more in tuned, because I'm not really in tune of how to use AI to plan my trips. I need to learn how to use AI to plan my trips, to make my travels a lot simpler. We also have new flight technology, which is changing routes. The aviation industry itself is evolving too. New aircraft like long-range narrow-body jets are allowing airlines to create routes that previously didn't exist. So if you know of any places that now have direct flights which did not have before, comment that down below. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a slight disagreement. By the way, subscribe to the podcast Slight Disagreements. So what does this mean? More direct flights between smaller cities, shorter travel times, and new destinations opening up for travel, right? So ultra long range flights are also becoming more common, connecting cities like Sydney directly to London or New York without traditional stopovers. In simple terms, the world is slowly becoming more connected than ever. And that's a great thing. People are saving time on trips, which is the contrary of what I just said before about because of the global tensions, you can't go direct at the moment. But overall, things have been increasing in that way. People are starting to understand new cultures, and it's easier to get to another culture, right? So, but when we touch back on the other side, geopolitics is affecting travel routes at the moment. Depending on when you're watching this video, this may or may not still be a factor. If you're watching this years from now, or if you're watching this right now, it all depends. So comment it down below, hit a like if I ain't mentioned already, and subscribe to the channel. I do these videos for free, and I would like to grow the channel. So travel in 2026 is also being influenced by global politics. Conflicts in parts of the world, particularly around the Middle East, have forced airlines to reroute flights to avoid certain airspace and sometimes cancel routes entirely. So this creates longer flight times, higher price tickets, and unpredictable travel plans. So travel is still growing, but it is also becoming more complex behind the scenes, okay? So that's something to think about. Like I said, this depends on when you're watching this video, and I'll probably do an update to this video, but I know I want to do something more national, so stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel in order to continue to receive the videos and my bike stuff, So personally, I think traveling 2026 feels different than it did even a few years ago. Travel isn't just about going somewhere anymore. It's about how meaningful the trip is, okay? People are chasing experiences, learning new cultures, exploring unfamiliar places, and living differently for a short period of time. Sometimes you want to just live for a month in somewhere else that's way different from your current life and standing at the moment. So at the same time, it feels like travel is becoming a luxury again, right? For many people because of rising costs. But Even with those challenges, the desire to explore the world hasn't slowed down. If anything, it feels stronger than ever. And maybe that says something about human nature. No matter what's happening in the world, economics, politics, technology, people will always want to see what's beyond the horizon. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning into this video. Hope you learned something new, and I would like you to teach me something new by commenting down below. Share your experiences, share your thoughts, agree or disagree. Just don't be boring. That's what I say in my podcast. Link below. So remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next adventure. Peace.